The chapel was a generous gift from Donna Fitzgerald Demmin, Mother Seton School class of 1963, and her husband T.J. Demmin. They gave the chapel in memory of their son Christopher, class of 1988. Chris was a student here who bravely fought cancer as a child and inspired our very first Mother Seton School Walkathon, which raised funds for the Johns Hopkins Cancer Unit. He later passed away tragically in a car accident just before his high school graduation.
It was destined to be that he was going to go to Mother Seton, period. His experience was very good. The love that's in that school is tremendous. His got interrupted in the 3rd grade by him getting cancer. One time in the 3rd grade, after he had had his chemo treatments, a couple rounds, he talked to his class about what he was experiencing, what he was going through, what he had learned. One of the biggest things about this child, he never wore a hat, he never wore anything to cover that extreme, bald, shiny head. And he told him that, and he told him about the radiation and the medicine.
When he got cancer, the whole school was just devastated because he was such a wonderful man, young man, that we just couldn't imagine it. And everybody prayed and prayed and prayed. And it was such a miracle. The day he came back to school, it was like Christmas. And I remember when he came back, he had this beautiful head of hair.
He beat it, and he graduated in the 8th grade.
I used to drive a lot of the local kids to Prospect Hall. It was St. John's at Prospect Hall. And Chris was one of the kids that I drove. The thing about Chris was he was a very quiet guy, and he didn't say a whole lot most of the time.
He went to Italy when he was in high school at Prospect Hall. And the girls on the trip ended up calling him Charlie Brown because he was always there with a smile and very quiet. He was a very humble kid. He made friends very easy. What a beautiful kid.
I consider it a great privilege to have known Chris and have had him touch my life.
The very last day that he was alive, I sat in my chair, Chris sat over here in Daddy's chair. It was getting close to 11 o'clock, and he was eating chocolate chip cookies and drinking milk. And that's the very last thing. He said, "Bye, Mom," and out the door he went.
When the accident happened, when he was killed, it was really hard because everybody in the school, of course, it's a small high school, so everybody knew Chris, and they had the funeral at the Basilica. And all the kids came. They were that much in awe of him.
Anything can make me smile or make tears come. And Christopher died in 1991. And it's now 2025, and they still come easy.
Chris was an exceptional child. And even in 3rd grade, he was one of those that never came to the principal's office. So I really had to look him up to get to know him.
This is his picture. 6'1", very gentle, loving bear, especially with little children, and he learned that at Johns Hopkins. He learned a gentleness and a love towards little kids, and I could see him when he grew up doing something in that field.
He was a master teacher. He was the kind of a teacher that he didn't come down hard, but everything he had to say was something that was right on. And so in a way, he was kind of leading by being understated. So it's very appropriate that this chapel is being dedicated to his memory, because that's how I remember him.
Got a newsletter from Mother Seton School once, and they had a wish list in there, and they had a couple of things in there that had been done. And the one of the chapel jumped out at me, and I called Jennifer at Mother Seton, and I asked her about it, about what they were looking to do, etc. And eventually conversations kept going, and we came up with what's there now, which is perfect.
Well, it's just wonderful that there's going to be a chapel, because the kids will have a place to go when there's something going on in their lives that they need to sort out. I think that's what a chapel's all about. A place to go to reflect, and also a place to go to share that joy.
Enjoy the peace that's there. Enjoy the calmness that's there. Even though there's ruckus maybe going on, there's peace there. First graders, ruckus going on. That's going to be the most beautiful thing to watch.
I think there are so few places in today's world where you can find real quiet, and particularly in a school setting. And just to have a place where they can go and be quiet and to be in the Lord's presence is just amazing.
I look at what has been created, and I can't believe this whole thing has been created in Christopher's name. Imagine what that is. I want to go to every Mass that I can attend, and I can sit back there and feel peace. Feel Chris. And I will.
Our chapel is named for St. Joseph, who held a very special place in Mother Seton's heart. Her deep devotion to him is reflected throughout her life's work. She named her religious order of sisters, Sisters of Charity of St. Joseph. Her first school was the St. Joseph's Free School and Academy, and this valley is known as St. Joseph's Valley. Mother Seton celebrated her first High Mass in the White House on March 19, 1810, the feast day of St. Joseph. The Daughters College here in Emmitsburg was St. Joseph's College. Construction on the chapel was completed by Conawago Enterprises, and the timber ceiling, roof, and steeple were crafted by Fitzgerald Heavy Timber, owned by Dean Fitzgerald, class of 1979, and Donna's youngest brother. The entire project was 100% donor funded. The Demons provided for the construction, and many other donors sponsored the furnishings and sacred items within. The chapel will be used throughout the year for individual classes to come up and have quiet time, to pray the Stations of the Cross, to pray the Rosary, to have religion class. The older students will be able to have adoration in here, and we will be blessed to be able to have classroom masses throughout the year for every class. St. Joseph's Chapel stands as a testament to faith, family, and the enduring spirit of generosity that defines Mother Seton School. Each detail reflects the care and devotion of those who gave to make it possible, and we are eternally grateful for each and every donation.